And a game apiece. The Rockies have not taken the field just yet. And kind of an interesting rain delay, Ray. I know there was rain in the forecast, not 100%, but it looked like it was 40–50%, but it never really rained, and the Rockies never put the tarp on the field.
I was going to say the tarp never did have the cover taken off. Down the left field line, the tarp, I mean, that's the amazing thing. But, you know, the old saying goes, I remember a game in Detroit, they delayed it because of a rain that never came until about the 5th inning, and then they had to postpone the game or at least stop the game for a little while. But, you know, it never did rain here. The field's in great condition, and umpires are ready to go.
All right, let's take a look at the game time weather. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. It's 76 degrees, so it's another very, very nice night here in Colorado. And dark clouds are starting to work their way away from Coors Field, so that's good news there. So we are just about set for baseball as the umpires have meeting at home plate. The Rockies have yet to take the field. They will momentarily, and then we will get game 2 of this series underway. It'll be Antonio Senzatella against Brett Anderson. That's the pitching matchup. And last night, just good ball game, but just too many missed scoring opportunities.
It's loud, Kite.
For the Athletics. Yeah. Star
Wars night, and it is loud. And they're incorporating I guess, all the Star Wars characters on their Diamond Vision with their players as they are hitting and showing their highlights. But it is Star Wars night here in Colorado. And maybe, Kite, they took so long for all the fans coming in their outfits of Star Wars characters. Maybe it took them a little bit longer to get through the turnstiles.
So at some point, I'm pretty sure, no, I'm not positive, I'm pretty sure that the Rockies will take the field at some point.
They're enjoying the Diamond Vision. I think just looking at the players, they're down there just saying, okay, the kids are already on the field. They're ready to go. And now the big boys are.
So the Rockies in the white pinstripe uniforms, they do indeed take the field. And let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Athletics tonight. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Nick Martini gets a start. He's in center field. Matt Chapman will be at third. Jed Lowry will be at second. Chris Davis in the cleanup spot, and he'll play left field. Matt Olson at first. Stephen Piscotty in right. Marcus Semien hits in the 7th spot. Josh Fegley will catch tonight. And the pitcher will not be Sean Manaea. It will be Brett Anderson.
And it will be Antonio Senzatella, who, watching him take the mound, jump over the first base line, kind of reminded us of a guy named Felix Hernandez. Well, they're both born in Valencia, Venezuela. So this young man, as he's making just his 4th start, back and forth AAA, but getting a chance to start tonight. Fastball loaded mid-90s. Got also the curveball, slider, and changeup. I think what the A's, Kite, would like to have the advantage of taking advantage of some of the opportunities they missed last night.
Cuevas, Blackman, Gonzalez in the outfield. Arenado, Story, and that's Pat Valleca. Pat Valleca is going to play second base tonight. Ian Desmond will be at first. Tom Murphy is the catcher. So a couple of changes for the Rockies. Murphy catching. Valleca is the second baseman. So Senzatella finishing up his warm-up tosses. A's coming in with a 61-44 record. And everybody lost last night. Astros lost.
Yes, they did.
Mariners lost, and the A's lost. So the Red Bull is still in full force. This is the new pregame ritual for the Athletics. Whether you're playing or not, it doesn't matter. Edwin Jackson, I'm good. So
J.B. Wendelken, who had 2 great innings last night, was involved in that as well. With his jacket on, maybe saying, hey, I've done my work last night.
So the Red Bull chug is over. Ray and I did ours about 15 minutes ago, so we're ready to go.
You did it too early.
Yeah, if I'm talking fast, then you know why. Too much Red Bull.
Well, you said you fall asleep last night with a high altitude, so maybe that's good. Get you back to normal.
Get back to the Coliseum. That's where we want to be.
That's right. We'll be there Monday night.
So the first pitch of the game to Nick Martini is a fastball outside from Antonio Senzatella. Umpires Bruce Streckman will call balls and strikes. Tom Woodring at first, Mike Estabrook at second, and the crew chief who's down at third. That's Mark Carlson. 2-0.
Well, Kop, I just wonder if the great Cleveland Indians fans thought about this game tonight, because they had a huge rain delay. Game 7 of the World Series against the Cubs, and it really never rained that much. And some would say that, as you said, one meeting was better than the other.
Yeah, according to the Cubs, their meeting was better than the Indians' meeting.
That's
I've never bought into that one single bit. What do I know?
But I mean, it's amazing. This has not changed in the last 2 hours, you know, as far as conditions here. And the game was supposed to start at 6:10 local time.
2-2 now to Nick Martini.
Well, as we mentioned, Nick Martini is not afraid to take some pitches, and he's taken 4 now. Let's see the area around Coors Field in overcast skies, but that's the way it has been most of the afternoon.
Martini drives one left center field. Anybody going to get it? No. It goes up into the seats on one hop, and that's a leadoff double for Nick Martini.
Well, Nick Martini just proved the skipper right, didn't he? But Nick Martini, actually, they were shifting him this way where in Houston and also in Arlington, but not enough because this ball into the gap, but at least he goes that direction. They were shifting him, and he was pulling the ball more to right center. But tonight, Nick Martini sees 5 pitches, gets a double to start the game. See if the A's can take advantage of it.
Pitch Gas brought to you by SoFi tonight, a modern finance company.
And that ball bounced into the stands to some A's fans. Isn't that great?
First pitch to Matt Chapman. Just missed, a little bit low.
Well, he looks at Charlie Blackman and says, hey, I want my beard to grow that long.
I want to get 213 hits in a year, too.
That's
like
a good
Blackman
point.
did last year.
Yeah, right. Sign a long-term contract for a lot of money. Yeah. Very deserving.
1-1 the count to Matt Chapman. Chapman's been a very hot hitter. He's got 6 hits in his last 11 at bats. The whole series in Texas was a good one for him last night. A couple of hits. So he has his average up to 269. 12 home runs and 34 runs batted in. Chapman's got 19 doubles. He's got 5 triples.
Got his parents, Joe Melissa, in town for the weekend here in Colorado, and they try to see him as much as possible. Said they'd see him again down in Anaheim when the A's go to play the Angels in a couple of weeks. It's a nice thing said about Matt Chapman from one Nolan Arenado.
So 3-1. Chapman in the hitter's count with Lowry in the on-deck circle, just underway from Coors Field.
Toro High School.
Good side story to this 3-game series. Those 2 guys playing against each other. Line drive right field base hit. Gonzalez has it. They're going to hold Martini. Gonzalez has a very good arm. So a line drive single for Chapman. First and third, nobody out.
Well, a great start for the Athletics for a couple of reasons. Number one, to get the first 2 hitters on base, but also both going opposite field. Watch Matt Chapman just wait. 3-1. Hitters have a tendency to kind of load up a little bit early, say I want to pull the ball in the seats, but instead he takes it to the opposite field. And even though Cargo bobbled the ball momentarily, still you have to respect his strong arm, as Nick Martini had to make sure the ball was cleanly into the outfield. On a line drive, you never know where the second baseman is playing and how close the ball might be.
So Lowry steps up. Lowry takes a breaking ball, catches the outside corner first strike. Lowry was 1 for 5 last night. He had the RBI double that knocked in the A's only run. A's had 1 run on 9 hits last night, 3 doubles. They did not hit a home run. And they left a bunch of guys on base. So they will try to get better at that tonight. That one on the inside corner. So Bruce Streckman just gave Senzatella the strike on the outside corner and a strike on the inside corner. So that's no fun if you're Jed Lowry.
Well, the manager standing on the side, both managers, Bud Black for the Rockies, they can see up and down, but not east and west. This is where you have to really be a good 2-strike hitter, and there's the crafty left-hander, the Buddy Black.
And he's got his four-seam grip going.
Yep. He's ready to go. Tell you what, it's got to be. You think of John Farrell when he was the manager and pitching coach. When managers are pitchers, former pitchers, it's tough to have a pitching coach. Because you know, but
you better be good. If you're the
I know John
coach.
Farrell would say, "Hey, I don't have anything to do with pitching. I'm the manager." And well, you have to think of Roger Craig, right? Actually, he's the one that kind of started the split finger fastball. He's with the Tigers, had his pitchers throwing it. Some of the great ones. Jack Morris inducted Cooperstown tomorrow, had an outstanding splitter.
1-2 pitch, a fastball high. Bends Lowry out of the way.
Senzatella will get you up in the Xfinity sign a few times, and this is one that does it. Up and in, Jed moving back. Martini was 2-2. Chapman 3-1. Now 2-2 to Jed Lowry.
He had to protect, and he does. Fouls it down the left field line.
Kuiper is talking to Jack Corrigan, who is the radio announcer. He said exactly what Lowry's doing right now, fouling off some tough pitches.
Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. Now, already 16 pitches for Senzatella. Does not have an out. Check swing. Senzatella making just his 4th start. He's been pitching out of the bullpen more this year.
There's a 2-4 seam fastball at 67%. The slider also, change up and curve not so much. So not surprising, making the 4th start. 2 pitches, fastball slider, fastball cutter slider. Usually what pitchers coming out of the bullpen because they don't have as much time to loosen up, throw all the pitches.
Still a young guy, Senzatella, only 23 years old. Won 10 games last year for the Rockies.
I mentioned Valencia, Venezuela, the home of the Magallanes baseball team.
Chris Davis waits in the on-deck circle. And he got him swinging. Went down and in. So a long battle, and Senzatella gets a big strikeout.
And hard breaking ball down and in. You can hear the foul tip. Actually, maybe it was all in the dirt that you heard. Something clicked and Jed missed it. Nice block by Murphy and went to slider in the dirt. That's a huge out. Well, the A's have to do something, and missed opportunities. And last night, bases loaded, nobody, or 1 out. Double play.
First pitch to Chris Davis. Mighty swing, fouls it right back to the screen. Chris Davis, 251, 27 home runs, 78 RBIs. It is Star Wars night for both teams. Keep an eye on that. The only player in the major leagues who has more RBIs than Chris Davis is J.D. Martinez. Gonzalez coming in. Martini tagging up. Here comes the throw to the plate. And they got him. So the A's will want to check it, but for the time being, Carlos Gonzalez throws out Nick Martini at the plate with a very good throw. It's the question there. Looks like, did Martini's right leg get on the bag?
Well, also the left foot of the catcher, was he giving him a lane? I think that's one of the things they have to look at also to get another angle. Is great. They're going to take a look at it. Okay, but I think it might be the left foot of Murphy. You cannot block a path, and it looked like he might have put his foot there before the ball arrived. If that's the case, then they're supposed to look at the entire play. So they're going to take a, yeah.
You know, Bob Melvin's chatting. He wants to.
Maybe they're asking, what are you challenging? Yep. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they're supposed to look at the entire play. See the foot, the left foot? That's critical right there. And plus, it looked like he got his right foot on the plate anyway. So Adam Roden making the call. And the question is, will the umpire out of position to see the foot reach and the foot of the catcher? They're saying that they got him up top. Umpire Bruce Stretman looking around to make the tag. But again, check the left foot. We'll see what they say.
He touched home plate.
Yes, he did.
He definitely touched home plate. The foot did not sail over top of home plate. He touched it with his right leg.
Look at the left foot of the catcher. He had it in front of the plate before. And again, we must emphasize the foot. The foot gets on the plate. Right there before he tags. So maybe, who knows? We'll see what they say. Big play, especially for the challenge in the first inning.
Well, that last play was a terrific look by our crew.
Okay, you called it perfectly because you said as Gonzalez went back, now comes in, he was timing it perfectly because of the flight, the height of the ball.
Check this out now. Watch the foot. Watch the strings of the glove.
He's on the plate. He's already on it before.
That's a terrific look, and it looked like that right foot got there just before the glove tagged him. Bob Melvin's not happy.
He's probably saying, what's taking you so long?
And here's the call.
There was the call.
And he looks safe to us.
Yeah. And they're showing on their jumbotron. It shows it safe too. He's showing him safe.
All right, so the A's get a run on a sacrifice fly by Chris Davis, and a very close play at the plate, but some great replay shots by our crew, and it did look like he just got his foot in there.
Great job, crew. That was outstanding. Outstanding work. As a matter of fact, as we were looking at the monitor here, they were showing that same shot up on their jumbotron. So nice going, guys, because,
So Davis gets an RBI, his 79th of the year. So it took a while, but the A's get a run.
It's a great throw by Cargo, and that's why Martini was not sent on the base hit by Chapman. Martini actually took a little time getting up, rubbing his right knee, hit the ground hard, but worth it as they did get the run, fortunately. It would have been bad to start this game, first and third, nobody out, end with a double play.
Now here's Olson. First pitch to Olson. He went around, could not hold up. Olson at 231, 21 home runs and 50 RBIs. So 1-1 to Olson. Olson was 0 for 4 last night. Matt Olson's direction of hits, or not direction of hits, but direction of his last 100 balls put in play. Played very much as a pull hitter for obvious reasons. Didn't miss by much, but the count 2-1. How about this, Ray? These are the two guys who lead All-American League first baseman in home runs. It's Matt Olson, and really kind of the guy he replaced, I guess, sort of, kind of, right?
And Yonder.
And Ryan Healy, and then Yonder Alonso's third.
It's a great call.
And I think it's fair to say that one of the reasons the A's traded Ryan Healy was because they knew they had Matt Olson, and Ryan Healy's having a good year.
And, you know, Yonder Alonso went to Seattle, and then Olson started playing. And he had 24 home runs in 59 games. So, yeah, it's there's a reason that Matt Olson is getting the time. It's a great list.
3-1 to Olson. Got a chance to take a rip here. Misses up and away.
You know, Cape, and that's a great point, but it's also great patience. We saw with Matt Chapman, 3-1 to right field. Matt Olson, 3-1, takes ball 4. And, you know, that's great to see young players doing that instead of saying, okay, I have a chance to maybe get a cookie and I can do something with it, load up a little bit earlier.
So 2-on-2 out for Stephen Piscotty. 262, 14 homers, 50 RBIs. 0 for 4 last night. As we close out the month of July, Piscotty's going to want it to stay July. He's had a very good month. Stephen Piscotty. He's a stormtrooper. Good swing there, fouls it back. 7 home runs and 17 RBIs in the month of July.
I think he would take a do-over in that bases loaded 1 out last night. Got the ball in on his hands a little bit. Smart play by Arenado to not catch the ball in the air, let it short hop and turn it into a double play. Tonight, though, is a different night. He's already scored a run, something that took a while last night.
And now it's 0-2, 91 miles an hour from Senzatella. Rockies have allowed 89 runs in the first inning. That's the most in the majors. Pitch number 28 coming up from Antonio Senzatella. Just missed off the plate. Good teaser though on 0-2. Big crowd filing in. Almost everybody in now. I guess, Ray, you said they were expecting a sellout.
They're going to have a sellout tonight. It may take them a while to get in their seats, but they'll eventually be sold out.
Check swing, and Piscotty rolls it foul. The long half inning has allowed most of the crowd to get in their seats.
But it also means Brett Anderson, the A's starting pitcher, has been sitting in the dugout for a long time.
Sure.
That's why it'd be nice to score a couple more runs. So when he takes the mound, he has a good lead, which he did in his last start. And that was in Arlington.
Two pitch is low. Another good take, and the count 2-2. So Chapman at second, Olson at first. Blackman shaded well into right center field. Foul down the right field line. So the inning, this seems like the one that won't end for Senzatella. 31 pitches. Blackman getting back there. Blackman reaches up and he makes the catch. So the Rockies had Blackman in the right spot, but a run for the A's, 1-0 after a half an inning. For the hometown Colorado Rockies, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And here it is. Blackman, Desmond Arenado, Story, Gonzalez, Murphy, Cuevas, Malaika, and Senzatella.
Brett Anderson, who started against the Rangers in Arlington about 5 days ago. That was a game started by Cole Hamels. The A's won that game 15-3. As Brett Anderson improved his record at 2-2. A former Rocky pitcher, but now facing the Rockies. Of course, he has some history against some of these players, having pitched in the National League.
And the first pitch from Brett Anderson is in first inning. Blackman at 290, 20 homers, 47 RBIs. Blackman, one of those leadoff hitters who can hit the ball out of the ballpark. See a lot more of those now.
I agree. They're not the prototypical take a lot of pitches leadoff hitter.
Yeah, how about this, Ray? He had 37 home runs last year. And a soft line drive into the glove of Marcus Semien, 1 out. A's defense has Davis in left, Martini in center, Piscotty in right, Chapman, Semien, Lowry, and Olsen on the infield. Josh Fegley getting the start tonight.
Fegley caught Anderson 3 consecutive starts, 4, 5, and 6. Lucroy got him the last start.
And there's a one hopper. Lowry battles it, flips to first, 2 away. And here's Arenado. Well, Anderson will face Nolan Arenado. Arenado, a home run last night. He was 2 for 4. So 26 home runs and 74 RBIs. He leads the National League in home runs.
Well, last night a fastball towards the middle of the plate. One thing that Sean and I was not able to do last night, and we talked about it. That's get fastballs inside, and you try to get inside, you leave the middle of the plate. Good hitters are going to take advantage, and Arenado didn't miss it. One thing that Arenado has a little bit of a setup that he goes through a little ritual, but Brett Anderson likes to work quickly.
Some big hitters in that group. It was home run number 100 for Arenado here in this ballpark. Look at the names on there. Walker, Castilla, Bichette.
I would be concerned about this 3-0.
That's outside.
Maybe he said, maybe Brett Anderson said, I'd rather face Story, Trevor Story. Arenado has 5 hits against him at 13 at bats now, including a home run and 4 ribbies.
So a 2-out walk. Here's Trevor Story.
This is no day at the beach for this guy, though. He can swing the bat.
Story 20 homers, 68 RBIs. He's kept him quiet last night. He was 0 for 4. And the first pitch is in for a strike. Story was an all-star this year. High draft pick of the Rockies back in 2011. He was the 45th player taken in that draft. Signed out of high school, grew up in the Dallas area.
Well, the one thing we saw last night also, Cap, were too many 2-strike hits by the Rockies. And right now Brett Anderson a quick 0-2, but a pitch that Story was able to at least foul to the right side. Sean Manaea, of course, 3 pitchers sitting together. Edwin Jackson always signing autographs on the side. He made an interesting point about that tonight.
Down the left field line. Davis hustling over. Davis is going to make the catch. A couple steps from the warning track. Side retired. 1-0 A's after 1. Manager of the Denver Broncos, and he was hanging out with Mike Eldreddy. They were roommates and teammates at Stanford. And of course, they both played against Bob Melvin. Melvin went to Cal. So kind of a fun moment before the game to see John Elway, and Mike Eldreddy and John Elway have been friends for a very long time.
Aldo was talking about the play. He says, you know, we kind of had our duels against Cal except for one play. And Aldo said he's had that play. He said it was in the middle of the field. And Elway said, well, why didn't you trip him? Because
what? Aldo said what? Aldo was in the middle of the field.
No, it's a fan to the football game.
We got to check with Aldo on that one. We got to see if he was actually out on the field.
He said he actually looked at a copy, blew it up. He said, that's where I was right there. And that's when Elway said, why didn't you trip him? And Elway said, well, if he'd have tripped him, what would have happened?
It could have been worse than what did happen.
Exactly.
Whatever happened, if Mike Eldreddy would have tackled a Cal runner, it still would have been better than
the result,
the outcome. Two and two to Marcus Simeon, a Cal Bear. And a very close play. Marcus really hustling down the line. You know that play by Story, he shuffled one extra time, and that made it a very close play.
On a breaking ball, which allowed Marcus to get out of the box quickly, sprinting down the line. That's all you have to do. Run hard for 90 feet. And right there, got rid of it. Stretched by Desmond at first base, but a lot closer. And probably Story had won it. Unfortunately, he got jammed on the ball. This might be a game the A's are trailing, but Story got jammed in his final at bat. Last at bat.
0-1 to Josh Fegley. How many pitches for Senzatella in the first inning? 32.
32, yeah.
A little bit outside. He's come in 61 and 44. So this is game number 106. Up the third base line, Arenado backhands, but he decides not to throw it, and Fegley's got an infield hit.
Brett Anderson is hitting .500 thanks to the hit. That was against guess who across the bay, and did a great job going opposite field for Brett Anderson against Jeff Samardzija. How about that swing? A lot of guys would like to try that. So Brett got the hit. Shulman and I last night got a hit. Should be bunting now, though. Arenado expecting it.
And he bunts it foul. Yeah, this is where you really do need to lay down a good bunt, because especially with Arenado coming in, Arenado will throw to second almost every time.
Well, and you know, to that point where Story is playing and where Brett Anderson hit it, if they pitch him away and he's charging like that, he's probably going to hit into a double play or bunt into a double play. Yep. Might as well let him swing.
And now it's 0-2.
Paul Blackburn attempted to bunt. San Francisco got it down perfectly, except he heard the catcher say 2, which means he was going to be doubled up.
Kind of jabbed at it.
That was an attempt
to get the bat out there and hold it out there. And it's bunted.
It's a double play.
Out at second, out at first. So you could see it coming. Senzatella had plenty of time. He knew it, and it turns out to be a double play. Bottom of the second coming up.
Brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So 1-0 A's. That is Red Rocks concert venue, one of the most famous concert venues in the entire country. That would be fun to see a concert there. Awesome.
They're coming home this Monday. The boys of Green and Gold come to the Coliseum, and it's time to welcome the hottest team in baseball. Monday, grab a $15 lower level ticket presented by Bartable by going to athletics.com/rapid. Then on Tuesday, grab tickets. Park for free by going to athletics.com/free parking. Both games start 7:05. Support the hottest team in baseball with a homecoming special. See you at the ballpark in Oakland.
Lots of A's fans in Denver, enjoying the nice weather, beautiful ballpark, big crowds. Last night, 40,000. I said it's a sellout tonight. The capacity here at Coors Field is just a shade under 47,000. So that's about what it'll be then, I guess. Rockies just 2 games back of the first place Dodgers in the National League West. And well, if you're 2 games back in the division, you're obviously right in the wild card mix as well, and the Rockies certainly are that. That one's hit deep. Left center field. Davis on the move. Off the wall. Gonzalez eases into second with a leadoff double.
And that you just cannot happen. It's a 2-strike pitch. You just cannot allow. I mean, this is a great swing. I mean, that's a fastball down the middle, and just not something that you should allow. I mean, you bounce it, try to get an aggressive hitter to swing at a bad pitch, but that is a great pitch. And really, the A's are fortunate this ball carrying back to Martini in center field, but fortunate the ball did not leave the park. Blackman last night came close. It's too good a pitch for 2 strikes.
Now here's Tom Murphy, the catcher. The Rockies carry 3 catchers right in the roster, and they have for a while, and they're going to continue to do that. Gives Bud Black, I guess, a little versatility.
Well, he did it last night when he did a double switch, took Iannetta out and put Walters in. There's Iannetta, who didn't start tonight, caught last night.
And now it's 2-0. On deck is Noel Cuevas, right-handed hitter. There's a strike down around the knee. Brett Anderson was traded from the Oakland A's to the Colorado Rockies for the 2014 season, and it was not a good season for Anderson. He only started 8 games. He was injured a lot. But it was December of that offseason when the A's made that trade. A's got Drew Pomeranz back. So that was December of 2013.
That's when Pomeranz joined the A's, pitching out of the windup. He was not comfortable here doing that. Started pitching out of the stretch all the time, and now he's a Red Sox.
So just 1 year here in Colorado for Anderson. Brett's next year, he went to the Dodgers and had a very good year. He won 10 games for the Dodgers, and key thing there is he stayed healthy.
Yeah.
So he probably made some starts for the Dodgers in this ballpark. Some time with the Cubs in the National League last year and Toronto, and now back with the Athletics for the 30-year-old Brett Anderson. He has a career record of 44 and 49. That's funny. It seems like Brett Anderson's been around a long time, and he has. This is his 9th year in the big leagues, Ray, but he's only 30 years old.
Yeah. He came up with Trevor Cahill, both very young, both making the club. No expectations from them about them making the club, but they did.
Foul back. They were keeping an eye on the Rangers and the Astros. Why not? First place Astros, and the Rangers are doing it again. Rangers 4. Astros 1, top of the 9th inning in Houston. And the Rangers just added a run, and they're still batting in that top of the 9th. How about that?
35 is Verlander, too.
Yep. Driven toward the gap in left center. That's going to be trouble. Gonzalez is going to score. Murphy is going to round second. He's going to try for third, and he's going to make it. So, Ray, we talked about it last night. That is Triple's alley, and the ball just seems to roll forever. And you saw it right there.
Threw him a changeup after fouling off 3 with a couple of strikes, and then finally the changeup that he's able to get out in front and pull it into the Triple's alley. And, of course, if he scored to score Gonzalez easily, but for the catcher tonight, showing his catcher's legs, and you have 3 catchers, maybe you don't catch as much, and able to turn a guaranteed double into a triple, and infield in for Cuevas.
Cuevas bounces it to Lowry. Lowry playing in, grabs it, and the runner holds. So one big out. So here's Pat Valleca, who's the second baseman tonight. Last night, and it was Garrett Hampson.
Not a very good swing, but Cuevas on the first pitch off speed from Brett Anderson and went down almost like he's protecting with 2 strikes. Sometimes you get a little bit anxious. He did. Unfortunate for the A's, hit it right to Jed Lowry, and the infield remains in. This time would think that Murphy might go in contact with a ground ball. Would not go with nobody out.
0-1 to Valleca. Missed outside. Pitcher is next. Senzatella.
Well, it's really a matter of facing Blackman, because if you pitch this guy carefully, then Senzatella would bunt more than likely and put the runner at second and third, and so they are pitching to this hitter.
And there's a base hit, right center field. Murphy trots in to score, and the Rockies take the lead 2-1.
Another off-speed pitch. See Brett Anderson going back door, and he had to use his changeup more. He has been using it more, but tonight it's not been very effective for him. And now the pitcher will be up to bunt, try to get another run in the scoring position.
Senzatella 1 for 8 with 1 sacrifice bunt. And that's a good one. And Chapman will flip to first. Chapman somehow got all the way over toward the first base line. That's called charging hard.
He let the sure man have it, cut in front of Brett Anderson. Brett was ready to field the ball, and Chapman, look how fast he's charging. Anderson went down to field it, and Chapman cut right in front of him. Here he comes charging in. If the bunt goes to third base, it would have been a double play like Brett Anderson hit into, but only one play for.
He Senzatella. He looked like, what are you doing right next to me? Why are you right next to me? Could have been the ultimate humiliation if Chapman just raced him to first and beat him there. How did you get over here so fast?
It's kind of funny. But watch Brett Anderson. He goes down. I'm going to field a bunt. I'm going to throw him out.
What are you doing?
Well, Senzatella got the job done, though. That's the most important thing. Brett, unfortunately, when Anderson tried it, he bunted it too hard when he got to 2 strikes.
Swing and a miss. See, Matt Chapman was probably the kid in the league because he was so good, better than everybody else. Any ground ball in the infield, he just caught. He was
going to catch it. You notice he shaved his mustache. I said, "What happened?" He said, "We lost." So he said, "Hope to start it again." He said he may start shaving too. He does not have much growth, which is good. I mean, always look young.
1-2 to Charlie Blackmon. This is great. 24 defensive runs saved, most among Major League third basemen. No, most among all players in the major leagues. And he missed 16 games, remember. Line foul into the seats. In fact, it bangs off the advertising panel.
Well, I think when Matt Chapman first arrived with the Athletics, everybody talked about his power. Defense is really starting to shine, and offense is going to be there.
Up and away to Blackmon, and the count even at 2-2. Blackmon popped out to the shortstop. Actually, it was not a pop-up, kind of a soft line drive. Rockies with a pair of runs here in the second. They got a single, a double, and a triple. Simeon has it. Simeon throws in time. Side retired. 2 runs for the Rockies. We're through 2 from Coors Field. 2-1 Colorado. Show me the Oakland A's in your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Rockies 2, Athletics 1. We are in Denver, Colorado. Last time we were here was 2012, and the A's swept the 3-game series. These two teams here in 2018, both with eyes on the postseason. Rockies went last year as the second wild card team. And both these teams this year kind of sat around 500 for a while and then got hot. And they're still hot. Since the 16th of June, that's when the A's started their great stretch where they've gone 27-8. The Rockies have gone 21-12, so they've been doing their thing as well. So 2-2 the count.
Well, both teams in a very tough Western Division, American and National League. A's know what they're up against, and there's the Rockies with the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers, the Giants, Padres. Makes it fun, especially in August and September, and August will be here next week.
So the trade deadline is Tuesday. Strike 3 called on the outside corner.
Evidently it was low because Bob Melvin talking about it. See the problem, and as I always say, there's the pitch. Now you don't see an umpire make the call until the catcher brings the catcher's mitt up, and that's terrible. That's reading his lips.
So 1 away for Chapman. And Chapman takes a strike on the outside corner. That one had a little cut to it. Chapman lined to single to right in the first inning. tapped foul. And so the trade deadline on Tuesday.
It was midnight. It moved it up to, was it 4 o'clock?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Tuesday afternoon then, right? So late last night,
yeah.
In fact, a lot of the guys were talking about the Moustakas trade on the bus. Mike Moustakas goes from the Royals to the Milwaukee Brewers, which is a bit interesting. That one had drilled toward right center field. Gonzalez over to cut it off. Chapman's going to try for two as Gonzalez missed it. He missed it. Blackman picks it up. Chapman is going to have what should be a double.
Two-strike hitting opposite field again by Matt Chapman. And this is more or less taking what you're given. And it's nice to see a hitter wait, gets a 94-mile-an-hour fastball and drills it to right center. And Gonzalez, I mean, he was going to try to catch, spin, and throw. And so you'd think it would be a double. He was going for it regardless. So that's good hustle by Matt Chapman.
So Chapman at second. We're still waiting for what the official ruling is, and it is a double.
Well, I think Bob Melvin's a little bit more angry, considering if the 3-2 to Martini had called the ball, then probably the A's could have had a run or at least second and third. Remember, the managers, the dugout seats they have, they can only see up and down.
So 2-0 to Jed Lowry, who struck out swinging in the first inning. So Mike Moustakas goes to the Brewers, and Ryan Presley goes from the Twins to the Astros.
So that's two. Escobar last night with the Twins.
That's right.
And
Escobar
then
left.
Presley, yeah.
And now Ryan Presley.
And the A's have yet to see the Twins.
Well, if you don't know much about Ryan Presley, he was having a really good year. 69 strikeouts in 47 innings out of the Twins bullpen. He's not going to be a free agent until after next year. So the Astros have him for this year and for next year. So probably a pretty good pickup for them. The Brewers having another good season, and they wanted one more bat, and they got it in Moustakas. Moustakas has 20 home runs this year after belting 38 last year. So those were the two trades last night. I don't think there's been any trades today yet. Lots of rumors, of course. 2-2 now to Lowry.
I think one of the most interesting things for A's fans to see and to hear that the A's are interested in different players, different position players or pitchers. Something that probably at the beginning of the season not many people thought the A's would be in the category of looking for help. But the way the club is playing, time to go for it.
Full count now to Lowry with Chris Davis waiting in the on-deck circle.
I think there's going to be some bullpen relievers coming in for the Rockies, considering the pitch count for this right-hander in the third inning already at 58 pitches. So a lot of A's fans here.
Doing the ace chomp. Of course, that's been around for many, many years. The old ace chomp, right? Chomp. Yep. Remember when it started, the ace chop? So 2 on and 1 out. And another good opportunity for the Athletics. And they got the right man up in Chris Davis. Davis had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. He had to wait a little while as the call was reversed at home plate. Martini on the slide home, and Martini was originally called out, and then the replay changed it. So Davis got the RBI, his 79th of the year. Now he's got a chance to do some more damage. First pitch is off the plate. This is the play, and it was very close.
A very strong throw by Carlos Gonzalez. He backed up and caught it perfectly and took half a step, a little crow hop, and a perfect throw to his catcher, and determined that the foot got in before the tag was made, and You know, Dratman had one overturned last night at first base, so maybe he's going for the cycle. That was on the Carlos Gonzalez ball that just beat Manaea.
A little bit outside. So now 2-0 to Davis and 61 pitches for Senzatella. Davis popped it up. Shallow right. Gonzalez waits, and he's got it. So 2 outs here in the top of the third, and now it's up to Matt Olson. Matt Olson walked in the first inning. Matt Olson is a .243 hitter with runners in scoring position this year. The A's as a team, .264.
Well, that is a big number. Last night, what, 1 for 10, the A's were runners in scoring position. One hit was the Jed Lowry double that brought in the only run.
And now 1-1 to Olson. Well, they got a sacrifice fly tonight. Chapman's hit was with the runner in scoring position in the first inning. It just did not get a run home. I'm not sure I'd want Senzatella on the mound if it was a getaway day game.
No.
Right? What do you think?
How about a day game after a night game?
How about just a night game after a night game? He's a little pokey. Popped up. He's going to get out of the jam. That's Desmond, the first baseman, and he's got it. So the A's had 2 on, 1 out, cannot score. Bottom of the third coming up. and the NBC Sports app, presented by your NorCal Honda dealers. Bottom of the third, it'll be Desmond, Arenado, and Story. So three powerful right-handed hitters against Brett Anderson. Desmond grounded out to second in the first inning. Final score from Houston, the Rangers beat the Astros 7-3. Rodney Odor was 5 for 5 with 2 homers and a double. So he was the hitting star. So how about that, Ray? So the Mariners, who are playing right now, and of course the A's pick up a half game for the time being. Astros have lost 4 out of their last 5. So the Rangers give up 41 runs in 4 games to the A's. They give up 5 in 2 games to the Astros in Houston. A little bit high. Houston will be next week. Houston will be at Seattle and at the Dodgers. So that's a tough road trip for the Astros.
Well, Brent Strom, the pitching coach for the Astros. When remember, the Astros had a tough time beating the Rangers, and then all of a sudden last year, world champions, they beat everybody. But one time he said, how do you beat the Rangers? And maybe now they're asking the same question. Brent Strom, especially with the pitching staff they have, the starters, and to lose the first 2 games of that series.
And a changeup and a good pitch. So Desmond strikes out. That's the first strikeout for
well, it's good to see the changeup be effective, because those two, that pitch really has gotten Brett Anderson in trouble, at least in the last inning it did. This one, though, maybe that's where you throw it. Out of the strike zone, get hitter to chase it, which Desmond did.
So 1 out for Arenado. Arenado takes up and away.
Cole Calhoun had a walk-off for the Angels last night.
That's right.
Against the Mariners. A game that the Mariners came back, and big play at the plate that was overturned. With D. Gordon attempting a double steal.
Angels won that game last night 4-3 over the Mariners. Tonight, the Angels have an early 5-1 lead. That game in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So the Angels trying to help everybody out a little bit, or at least everybody behind the Mariners. So 5-1 3rd inning.
And in that weekend series, they've got a lot of people who are back in Cooperstown to represent the Angels, with Vladimir Guerrero going in. He'll be inducted tomorrow along with 5 others.
Good group.
Yeah.
Tommy, Guerrero, Trevor Hoffman, Chipper Jones. Jack Morris, Alan Trammell all going in. So it should be a fun weekend.
It's a pretty good lineup.
Well, you got a good starter, you got a good reliever, and you got some power.
Yeah, you got power in the corners with Tommy at first and Chipper Jones at third. Trammell up the middle, shortstop. Great opposite field hitter. Trevor can close it out. Vlad, put him anywhere. And Morris, I think it was said, was it 91 when he went 10 innings against the Braves? I think he said nobody would ever do that again. And I think he's right.
And that's off the plate, 3-2. It's interesting, Ray. I was looking at the Hall of Famers numbers and that kind of thing. Guerrero, Tommy, and Trevor Hoffman, none of them won a World Series title.
That's right.
Which doesn't diminish what they did, but I'm sure there's a lot of Hall of Famers that never won a World Series title.
And usually they talk about that as being the criteria, but how do you take 600 home runs away from somebody?
Well, that, yeah.
Jim Tomey in that 600-plus category.
Last year, the Ford C. Frick Award winner was our own Bill King. Right field. Piscotty turns around, and it is gone. Arenado homers over the out-of-town scoreboard in right field. And it's 3-1 Rockies.
Well, just watching his at bat, not surprised that he hit the ball to right field because he just kept waiting and waiting. And 27th, of course, lead of the National League last night, hit one. That's an off-speed pitch that he went opposite field, but he waits as well as anybody. And it's almost like you could throw a fastball and have better success. You go off-speed as long as he waits and has the power to do this. And it hit the top of the wall and over. So take it though. As the great Hank Aaron always said, front row. Have to have the distance. All I wanted to get over the fence.
So he will go that way occasionally. I'm not sure he got all of that one, but if you get it up in the air here, he'll get some help. He'll take it. That's his 27th home run. Chapman scoops, Chapman throws, and they just got Story, who runs pretty well, 2 outs.
Story runs great, but there's Matt Chapman doing it again.
So speaking of the Hall of Fame, how about our own Hall of Famer, the late great Bill King? And this is going to be a lot of fun to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Bill receiving the Ford C. Frick Award. A's Radio Network on Monday will air an entirely commercial-free broadcast when the A's face the Blue Jays at the Coliseum again. That's this Monday night. Broadcast will feature special guests, great Bill King radio calls, and features with Bill. Ray, you'll be in the radio booth. And that one's hit toward the gap. And Carlos Gonzalez is going to have another double as he stops at second base. So, doubled in the second.
You know, everything again, it's an off-speed pitch. And Brett Anderson, I don't know if he just does not feel he has a fastball, but there it is, a hanging curveball and 75. And really, it's very inviting for hitters. So basically, everything that's happened last inning, this inning, has come on off-speed pitches, which, you know, sometimes you start looking at that and say, let me try my fastball and see if they're going to hit that. And because definitely the curveball changeups are being hit very hard by the Rockies so far in this game.
Well, here's Murphy. Swing and a miss. So it'll be a fun night to honor Bill King on Monday night. Roy Steele is going to join you guys in the booth.
Ricky Anderson should be there because Bill called his Steele number 939. The man of steel.
So commercial-free broadcast to honor Bill King.
Well, it's unfortunate that he was not alive when he was inducted in the Ford C. Frick wing. Very deserving and probably the greatest basketball, football announcer, and then added baseball to that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good career.
Yeah. And to say you could broadcast 3 major sports
and be really good
at the same time, and be excellent, and he was able to do it. Franchise player, huh?
Yeah, yes. But if Bill King were still alive, he would not be here. Bill was not a big fan of interleague baseball. In fact, did he ever do interleague? Did he
and
do
you know,
the Giants game?
sadly, you know, he grew up in Illinois. The only time the A's have ever been to Chicago to play the Cubs, he didn't go.
He didn't go.
He was adamant about it.
I didn't know Bill that well. I know you did, and I'm not sure he was the kind of guy you were going to talk into anything.
No, definitely not. He's set in his ways.
Chapman again. He's got it. His throw to first in time. Side retired. Arenado with a home run. Second night in a row for him. And we are headed to the fourth. 3-1 Colorado. 2007 Padres and Rockies, a wild card tiebreaker game here at Coors Field. What a ball game. Jamie Carroll sacked fly off Trevor Hoffman in the 13th inning. The question has always been, did Matt Holliday touch home plate? Umpire said yes. Padres say no way.
Never did.
Matt Holliday said, of course I did. It wasn't even close. And controversy surrounding that play to this day, but the Rockies scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 13th inning off of the Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman, and the Rockies would go on, and they would play in the World Series that year.
Yeah, well, they swept everybody. Matter of fact, it hurt them that they did sweep everybody because kind of forgot how to play.
Well, Piscotty is retired, but we saw this come across the wire today, Ray. Very interesting.
Yeah, he just signed a minor league contract pending a physical, and Buddy Black managed the Padres against the Rockies in that game that Matt Holliday attempted to score, but he was traded. Holliday was to the Athletics and lasted about 4 months. Went on to become a Cardinal for many years, and then a Yankee to the Yankee cap. And of course, the biggest news is the fact in spring training he said he had only one club no trade, Oakland A's.
You don't like that, do you, Ray?
No, I don't. I mean, it's just Osuna said the same thing, and he's with the Cardinals. So, you know, not surprised that they say it, but I mean,
dare they?
It's just
I don't like it.
Part of it.
We don't want them.
I mean, if you don't want to play, I mean, that's fine. You have a no trade, and you know, so be it. But I'd say there's a few players that maybe the way the A's are playing right now could maybe change their mind a little bit.
3-0 to Marcus Semien. To Marcus Semien is in first strike. Marcus grounded out to the shortstop in the second inning. That's got an interesting note from that Houston Astros game. Not necessarily about the game, but Jose Altuve was placed on the disabled list today. Banged up his knee a little bit.
Yeah, he was limping. I think he was taken out of a game not too long ago.
And they said Marcus Semien went around. Marcus halfway to first base. He can't believe it as he looks down at Tom Woodring. And that's going to be a strikeout.
Now this is the pitch location. See, Marcus, like Piscotty does, what's the bat angle? And he thought he had held up.
So that is strikeout number 3. So 2 outs for Fegley. Takes a strike. So the Astros, struggling a little bit, will be without their heart and soul. Maybe not for very long. That one's driven. Right center field. Nobody's going to get it. One hops that wall in right center field, and Fegley is going to have a double. So he's 2 for 2. So that will allow Brett Anderson to see if he can bring him home.
Well, opposite field hitting by Josh Fegley, and it's amazing how well he hits. That's his second hit. Got an infield hit. Slow roll to third base. This opposite field. So with 2 outs, Brett Anderson will hit.
Anderson bunted into a 1-6-3 double play in the second inning. First pitch in for a strike.
Well, maybe because he got a base hit against Jeff Samardzija in San Francisco. Probably because there are 2 outs and just the 4th inning. Dave Wendelken and Pagan did a great job last night for the final 3 innings to help the bullpen.
Strike 2 right at the knees on the outside corner.
Better swing the bat, because I think it's kind of an automatic thing with the pitcher, especially for the American League. So Brett Anderson might as well swing it.
And he does, and he taps it out in front of home plate. Murphy to first, and that will do it. So Fegley doubles, he's stranded, and we're going to the bottom of the fourth. Rockies 3, A's 1.
PC Sports California is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
All right, 3-1 Rockies, bottom of the fourth inning. It's the Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. It was the Blake Street Bombers, and man, could they tee off. It started in 1995. Ellis Burks, Andres Galarraga, Larry Walker, Vinny Castilla, Dante Bichette. They just gripped it and ripped it, Ray. And man, you could come in here and you could score 11, but give up 12 quickly to the Rockies.
Well, in today's world, Bichette probably would have been criticized with his home run, but there they are. Todd Helton, of course, played one of the probably the longest. Walker came from the Expos. They were good. Let's say Arenado's got a chance to be above everybody with his ability and franchise player, but the Blake Street Bombers, they were good.
Center field, Nick Martini over a little bit into left center. He's got it. Well, from 1996 to 2001, that is when the Bombers really got rolling. That 6-year period, they scored over 900 runs. 5 of those 6 years. Scoring 900 runs is very, very difficult to do in a big league season, and they did it 5 out of 6 years.
Yeah. Todd Helton. So it's a nice tribute to the late Don Baylor on the inside of the media guide of the Rockies, the first manager of the Colorado Rockies, Don Baylor, and unfortunately passed away recently. He could hit and he could get hit. Got hit much as anybody. But I thought in that article, or actually the part which shows him, the comment was made about as a first-year manager. Of course, he played under Earl Weaver in Baltimore. Earl Weaver always required a sport coat and ties, and Don Baylor said the same thing. He said, we're going to look the part. And he said, we may play like the Bad News Bears, but we're not going to look like them. So he insisted on the players dressing up. And Don Baylor was the type of player that I would think that you'd want to play hard for him, because that's the way he played. And so unfortunately, he ended up being with the Angels and passed away.
Well, if you're the manager of an expansion team, which is not an easy job to do,
right,
but you sort of set the tone about what the organization's going to be all about, I think.
Well, you think about an expansion draft, that means a team will take players from every team. And so they gather in spring training. And evidently Don Baylor, oops.
And that one's belted. Valleca, that's Pat Valleca. He homers to make it 4-1 Rockies.
Wow, another two-strike pitch. Got him. Well, guess what it is? Another hanging curveball, and Brett Anderson keeps going to it, especially with 2 strikes. And it's okay to throw it and bounce it, but oh, he's left too many up. And Arenado to right field on a breaking ball. This time way out, and no doubter.
Now here's Senzatella, the pitcher. So Pat Valleca is his 2nd home run of the year. Rockies now with 134 home runs this year. That's 2nd most in the National League. They're 3rd in the National League in run score. Lowry charges. He's got it. That's the 2nd out.
The one thing the A's have been doing, especially on the road, is hitting home runs, yet they have not been able to drive anything so far in the first 2 games.
Well, it's interesting. It's hard to believe, Ray, but the Rockies here at home average 5.3 runs per game. On the road, they average 4.3 runs per game, which is, you figure, right? They're going to score more. But they have hit more road home runs than home runs. 68 to 66. So it's pretty close, but I think most years they're going to hit more on the road, or more home runs here at home, but not this year, not so far anyways. One and one to Charlie Blackmon, who is 0 for 2.
A lot of confidence that Arenado showing in his teammate with 2 outs. Arenado's getting ready to hit, and there's still Desmond in the on-deck circle. Yet in the dugout, Arenado was putting on his batting gloves and elbow guards.
Marcus, can he get to it? Yes, a low backhand. Side retired. Pat Valleca with a solo home run. 5th inning coming up. It's now 4-1 Colorado. Salt Lake Earthquakes match is airing right now on NBC Sports California Plus, which can be found on the channels listed here. If you can't find NBC Sports California Plus, log on to NBCSportsCalifornia.com or call your TV provider. Top of the 5th inning, it'll be the top of the order for the A's against Antonio Senzatella. Senzatella has faced a lot of base runners. He has not had a 3-up, 3-down inning yet. He's had 5 hits. They've stranded 5 through 4 innings. So quick 0-2 to Martini, Chapman to follow, and then Lowry. Well, the Angels scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. That game now in the 5th. Angels 8, Mariners 2.
An overturned call and then a walk-off can
mess you up, huh?
Put a little tailspin. They had a 3-1 deficit, came back and tied it. And this ball up and in to Martini after falling behind 0-2. You see if some of the A's hitters can get hits with 2 strikes the way the Rockies have tonight.
Felix Hernandez gave up 7 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings tonight in that game, and he's got a 5.58 ERA. Grounded to short. Story has it. All right. Six of the last 7 retired by Senzatella. So here's the red hot Matt Chapman. Got 8 hits in his last 13 at bats. Hit pretty well to right center, but in the ballpark. And Blackman has it 2 away.
It's been 4 years since the Dodgers came into Oakland and almost 30 since that memorable fall classic. Be part of history again when the boys in blue come north to the Bay for a 2-game series starting Tuesday, August the 7th, 7:05. Make sure you grab your tickets for this series at athletics.com/California. Athletics.com/California.
Enjoying some of that Coors Field food. Packed house tonight. Off the foot of Lowry, rolls all the way out to Desmond. So 0-2 to Lowry, who has struck out and walked so far. Jed's in there somewhere.
Return of the Jedi.
Pitch number 87 coming up. Not yet for Senzatella. Remember, he threw 32 pitches in the very first inning. He was wobbling along in that first inning. The A's got 1 run.
Well, you mentioned Felix Hernandez, at least in his prime, one of the best that if you didn't get him early, you wouldn't get him late. And I don't know, Senzatella, even though he's born in the same town in Venezuela as King Felix, but he wobbled the first, but he settled down since then. Especially with his club scoring him some runs, which helps him.
And he got him swinging. That's the first 3-up, 3-down inning for Antonio Senzatella. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Rockies jersey, A's hat. So at some
Playing
point,
for a tie.
at some point you got to make a decision.
Yeah.
Hey Ray, guess what? It's Desmond, Arenado, and Story again.
Yep. It seems like they just keep coming up.
Chapman again, scoops, juggles, and Desmond's going to be aboard.
Well, you might say, why would he cut in front? And of course, it is a better play if you can cut in front, because Simeon would have had a tougher play. Transfer by Chapman wasn't as successful as we have seen him, but still the smart play. Had the ball in his glove, but by the time he transferred, just could not get it out and make the play.
So leadoff man aboard. Arenado steps up with a walk and a home run.
Backdoor breaking ball that Nolan Arenado just takes Oppo, and looked like Josh Fagley wanted it to the back foot, hit the top of the yellow line. At least that's what it appeared to hit. Whatever it was, it went into the seats, didn't come straight down.
2-0. StatCast AI powered by AWS.
And here it is off the bat of Nolan Arenado. 96 off the bat, 35 degrees, so it was up quite a bit. Well, you have to right field with the highest out-of-town scoreboard, just 370 feet, just in the front row. Take it.
And a mighty swing on 2-0, and he got a changeup. Swung out of his helmet. Sometimes you swing out of your shoes. He swung out of his helmet.
Still haven't made a decision on the ball Desmond hit. Here's a double play.
Should be a double play, and it is. It's 4-3.
Maybe they'll finally make a decision as to whether there was a hit or an error now that he's off the base.
So Arenado retired for the first time tonight. And with 2 outs, Trevor Story will hit.
Brent Anderson had 6 ground ball outs in the first 3 innings. Unfortunately, though, he gave up 3 runs. Base hit.
So Desmond gets a hit on the ball that Chapman juggled.
You know, if he transfers, he throws him out.
Yep.
But he didn't, and the hit
I'm
is
a little
good.
surprised by that call.
I am too.
Oh, 0-1 to Trevor Story.
You know, Cap, I've often wondered if they did not have the side panels that have the balls and strikes, what would a pitcher do? How many times do you see a pitcher look to the side?
All the time.
All the time to see what the count is. I'm surprised because you'd think they would know the pitch that it's called and what the count is, but they always are looking at the side panels.
And there's every ballpark has the side panels with the balls and strikes and line score on it.
And there they are. So, I mean, all pitchers just you see them look up to the left or the right. They're not looking at somebody in the stands. They're looking at the side panel to see what the count is. I'm just somewhat surprised with that.
The left center field. Nobody's going to get this one. Martini cuts it off at the warning track, and it's a double for Story. I think tonight, more than last night, if you're watching the game, you're getting an idea of how big the outfield is.
And you also get an idea of what Rockies can do to off-speed pitches, because they have not missed one tonight. I mean, you could almost look at every hit the Rockies, and I hate to keep saying it, but every pitch that's hit hard is either a changeup or a breaking ball.
3 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs for the Rockies so far tonight. Scott Emerson's coming out. Yusmeiro Petit just now starting to throw. So up steps Carlos Gonzalez. He's been a tough out in this series. He was 3 for 4 with a double last night. He's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles tonight. That one bounced fair. Nice play by Olson. Fires to Anderson, who gets there, and he beats Gonzalez on a close play. So a couple of hits, nothing else. We're headed to the 6th. 4-1 Colorado.
Matt Olson, Carlos Gonzalez, what a shock swung at the first pitch. Nice play by Matt Olson. Just as well, Brett Anderson getting over to cover, because if he is not out at first, Story's going to score from second. Great play by Matt Olson. Great play by Brett Anderson covering first base. Anderson going straight to the back, catching, tagging, and getting the out. And that was a big one. So that's our California dealer. Smart play of the day. And it was a good one.
Chris Davis to lead it off, Olson to follow, and then Piscotty. Sac fly, and then a fly ball to right field so far for Chris Davis. '79th RBI for Chris Davis. JD Martinez coming into tonight has 85 RBIs. Martinez leads the league in home runs with 31.
And a whole bunch of opposite field home runs for JD Martinez, and I mean, just continuing what he did last year with the Tigers and especially the Diamondbacks, and signing a free agent contract with the Red Sox.
Fouled at the plate. Now 1-2 to Davis. Speaking of opposite field home runs, they all make sense, don't they, Ray? JD Martinez, as you mentioned, 15. Aaron Judge, we've seen that many times. We know all about Davis. Desmond, you've talked about his ability to go to right field.
Well, the one that surprises me is JD Martinez, because Fenway Park, where he plays the majority of all of his home games, that's the deepest right field in all of baseball.
That would be a tough one for a right-handed hitter.
But Judge in Yankee Stadium, short porch in right field, he's going to miss 3 weeks at least with a broken hand. Giancarlo Stanton can go opposite field as well as anybody. The Yankee Stadium is very inviting. Talk about left-handed hitters, right-handers though can do it as well.
Man, kind of a hanger, but Chris Davis missed it. So it just hung up there.
Oh, that's That's an inviting pitch to hit a long way, but sometimes you hang a pitch and hitters do not make contact, and Kay did not.
Well, with one out, Olson will hit.
Yeah, Cap, I think you mentioned about the Rangers, the struggles they had against the A's. And people might be wondering what's happened to the A's, because second game that scored 1 run last night, 1 run tonight.
I think it's called baseball.
It's called baseball. You're right. That anything can happen on any day, not just a weekend or Sunday, as the great late Vince Lombardi always said. But I mean, you see the Rangers defeating the Astros, and LA, the Angels, big time lead over the Mariners. And meanwhile, the A's struggling and scoring a whole, what'd you say, 41?
41 in the 4-game series.
41 in the 4 games in Arlington to start the road trip. And this is inning number 6 of game 2, and they've scored a total of 2.
You see the Angels, they traded Martin Maldonado, right?
Yeah.
Their catcher. They brought up a man by the name of Francisco Arcia, who's caught the last 2 games. He was in the minors for a long time, right? He's got 10 RBIs in 2 games.
He had a 3-run home run his first hit.
Exactly.
First major league hit.
10 RBIs.
That's amazing.
Long time in the minor leagues, and the Maldonado gone. Angels called him up, said, hey, let's play him. What the heck? Saw that Angels score. It's now 10-2 over the Mariners in the 6th. Pitch number 99 on its way. And it's a foul ball. Watch Olson.
Yeah, we're seeing a little frustration from Big Matt Olson.
He will show a little bit once in a while. I wouldn't want to get in his way if he was upset. He may show it now as he strikes out. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Senzatella.
Well, it went off speed, and Matt Olson, after fouling the ball off his foot, way out in front of an off speed breaking ball. But see, that pitch with 2 strikes, it's a good location. It's down. And unfortunately, the Rockies have been getting several of the pitches of similar variety, but they've been elevated too much to the point that, from a hitter standpoint, they've been great.
Senzatella has retired 10 out of the last 11. So I didn't think I would be saying that in the 6th inning, in the 1st inning, because he was all over the place.
He also didn't think you'd be saying that King Felix Hernandez had given up what he gave up down in Anaheim.
That's true.
And so you've got 2 pitchers pitching tonight, both from Valencia, and one is called the King, and just not the same King we've seen in the past. So Trevor Bauer. That hurts me just seeing it do it.
It looks like it does a lot of good.
Yeah.
But Bud Black is walking out with part of the training staff, so they may want to check on Senzatella.
Well, a pitcher probably would notice a pitcher more than anybody. Well, he's showing the trainer that he kind of wrenched a little bit going to his left. Watch the left side, see if he does something. No.
He's going to throw a couple. He's got to prove to his manager that he's okay. Bud Black's not convinced right now.
Probably didn't help that he shook his right hand, his arm the way he did.
Who used to do that? It was the left-hander we had.
Dana Evelyn.
Dana Evelyn. We thought his arm hurt every time he threw a pitch, and then you did the research and found out, no, I do that every time, he said.
Right. Well, that's Dana Evelyn, works in the Kelly Terrell's clubhouse. It looks just like Dana Evelyn.
3-0 now to Stephen Piscotty. Piscotty, a pair of fly balls to center field. Well, Piscotty looking for his first hit in the series, 0 for 6. And it's low and it's a walk.
It may be gone anyway. The only problem, they have anybody loosening up because they had, I don't know if they had a pitcher out. couldn't find somebody to throw to.
If nobody's going to play catch with me, I'm just going to throw it against the wall. That's Jake McGee, the lefty. Maybe giving McGee a little time. Here's Druckman, the home plate umpire, heading out to break it up.
He's supposed to go out much earlier than with 3 seconds to go. And I think we're seeing a little bit of lax with the,
Steve Foster is the pitching coach for Colorado. So see if the A's can get something going with 2 outs. Is Piscotty aboard for Marcus Semien? A little bit low. Very close pitch. Bud Black not happy with that call from Druckman. In fact, somebody wanted to know where it was, and Druckman pointed down. Another close pitch. They may want to know where that one is, too.
Well, it's 5 in a row after a good breaking ball to Matt Olson, and it's making 6 now in a row out of the strike zone.
.106 pitches for Senzatella, a career high. That one is in first strike. And he's with 5 hits in the game. The Rockies with 8, couple of home runs for Colorado. A's have yet to hit a home run in this series, and they've spoiled us, Ray. We're used to the long ball.
Yes, they have.
A's with 142 home runs this year. That's 4th most in the American League. Missed again on the 3-1. So Semien walks, and it is a 2-out rally. So Fegley is the hitter.
Yeah,
nobody's coming out.
Bud Black, and he's got the lefty warming up, and maybe that's figuring if they're going to bring in a lefty to pinch hit for Brett Anderson. Mark Canha, so it's maybe to tell Bud Black that you think going to bring in a lefty, and you got a lefty warming up, but I'm sure Bud Black knows the matchups. So Josh Fegley, see if he can keep it going. Bud Black's going to leave him in to face Fegley, who doubled his last at bat.
And the first pitch is down and away. Your runners, Piscotty at second, Semien at first. They both walked. And that's going to do it.
Yeah.
So they are going to bring in the lefty Jake McGee to finish the at-bat against Fegley. So Senzatella settled down, ends up going 5 2/3 innings and gives up 1 run so far. So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts, and a big ovation for Antonio Senzatella. Now the A's making some noise here in the top of the 6th inning, and they have got to the into the bullpen of the Colorado Rockies. It's the lefty Jake McGee, 1-3, a very high ERA, and that's a surprise. Jake McGee's been a good reliever for a long time. Had some nice seasons with the Rays, and now in his 3rd season here in Colorado, but struggling some.
Well, he still has a live fastball. He'll throw all the pitches, fastball, curve, change up, 2 and 4 seam. But I think from Bud Black's standpoint, maybe he saw something from his starter that didn't want to leave him in, have him make a mistake. After all, Senzatella struck out the 3 in a row, 2 to start this inning, then all of a sudden couldn't find the strike zone.
Fegley takes a strike, so that evens the count at 1-1. McGee has inherited 13 base runners. He has stranded 6, which is not a great ratio percentage.
The A's just need a big hit. They have not gotten a big hit so far in this series.
A little bit low. 5 hits, a run, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts to go with the 110 pitches for Senzatella. Back to even the count at 2-2. Fegley a single and a double. 2 for 16 in the series with runners in scoring position. So that has been an issue. 1 for 10 last night, 1 for 6 tonight.
McGee has come in and thrown 3 fastballs, and even the count now 2-2.
And he got him swinging 96 miles an hour. He got up and in on Fegley, and a missed opportunity for the A's. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It's 4-1 Colorado. So Rockies 4, A's 1, bottom of the 6th inning. And Brett Anderson back to work facing Murphy, Cuevas, and Valleca. 88 pitches for Brett Anderson. Murphy tripled in a run in the second and then scored. Missed outside, 2-0. Still 10-2 Angels over the Mariners. That game now in the 7th inning.
Ooh, scary looking, isn't he?
Wow.
Brett Anderson, man, he's scary.
Olsen backing up. Olsen, fair territory, makes the catch. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And here's Cuevas. There's a good look at Coors Field. Look how big that outfield is.
It's huge, and we have seen it. And the ball hits the gaps and it goes. I mean, the outfielders can play only so deep, and I mean, no doubles here. If you're playing no doubles, that's a long way.
Yeah, you may not want to play no doubles here.
No,
because if you play no doubles, it's going to be all singles. It's going to be a lot more singles.
Well, there'd probably be more doubles and less triples, but it's a tough place to play in the outfield. But you're right. There'd definitely be a lot of singles.
Lowry charges. He's got it. 2 away. A couple years ago, Ray, and this has helped the pitchers a little bit, but where the bullpens are out in right field, see just to the left of the out-of-town scoreboard. See that? See the upper part of the fence there? That is new.
Yeah.
That wall used to be the same height as the yellow line and then going all the way to the out-of-town scoreboard, and that was an 8-foot wall. Well, now they've put that fence up all the way to the top of the out-of-town scoreboard, and the height of that wall is now 18 feet, and we are told that has actually made quite a bit of difference. And you can see a lot of balls sailing out there, and the wall is 10 foot higher, and instead of a ball going out of the ballpark, it bangs off the wall. So it's a good inning for Brett Anderson, trying to finish strong. 7th inning coming up.
Is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
So Rockies lead 4-1. It is the top of the 7th inning. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts, and the Rockies are showing off their latest trade acquisition. Sun-Hwan Oh, who was just acquired a couple days ago from the Toronto Blue Jays. Sun-Hwan Oh.
He saw him
having a good year.
He saw him a couple times in Toronto. 17th and the 19th. As the A's having a lot of success in Toronto that weekend.
So played in Korea for 11 years, then 2016 came to the States, signed with the Cardinals. Last year he had a 1.92 ERA. Make that 2 years ago, excuse me. So 2.5 years with the Cardinals, and now with the Rockies. So that's not a fan running in with O, that's his interpreter. So this is the first time for Tom Murphy.
One's a fastball, two's a curve, three's a slider, four's a change.
Well, we have learned that that's not always that easy, right?
That's
not because
true.
of the interpreter or anything like that. Just sometimes there's 8 or 9 signs given for 3-4 pitches.
That's exactly right. And that's what makes it so confusing.
O is 36 years old. He just turned 36 earlier this month. 5'10", 215 pounder. Someone. Oh. So he's facing the pinch hitter Dustin Fowler. Fowler hitting for Anderson. Fouled straight back. So for Brett Anderson, 8 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So all in all, Ray, in this ballpark, not a bad performance.
No. Actually, back-to-back starts for him, going 6 innings and 2 very difficult parks. Total of 6 runs, 14 hits in those 2.
Yeah, listen, you pitch here, and then before that, Arlington.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
Well, one thing's better here. The weather was much cooler
Sure.
tonight than it was when he pitched last Monday in Arlington.
Right at Gonzalez, who trots in a couple steps.
I think you might wonder back in the, after Fegley doubled in the 4th inning. 2 outs, and Brett Anderson was not a pinch hitter used. I mean, you really have to, you're limited in your bench players. You don't have that many, so it's hard to pinch hit early if you only have 3 or 4 on the bench, and that's what an excessive number of relievers, pitchers in general, makes it a little bit difficult.
Top of the order, Nick Martini, who opened up the game with a double, and he scored. And he's going to have another hit. Drops it into right field. It's the A's first hit since the 4th inning.
Nick Martini a couple of times on base. The fastball there, actually off-speed pitch, but O doesn't throw hard. Sometimes he can fool you with his pitches because he doesn't throw hard.
So here's Matt Chapman. Hey, still just a 3-run game.
You know, while you can look at the out-of-town scoreboard, you see the first place Astros lost, you see the Mariners losing badly. Instead of saying we're not going to lose ground, you should be saying we're going to gain ground if you can come back and win. See, 10-2 in the 7th. Astros have already lost, so you have the first place team in the division and the second wild card.
The reality is you're not going to have the Astros and the Mariners lose on the same night very often.
No.
And tonight it could be that it's going to happen 2 nights in a row.
Exactly.
Astros have already lost the first 2 games of their series to the Texas Rangers. So 1-2 to Chapman. Lowry will be next. 91 miles an hour from O.
And, you know, you really think about the series in Texas where the A's miraculous comebacks, 10-2, 5-1 they were down. Won those 2 games, could have very easily lost those 2 games, and even the finale. If
Absolutely.
you know, it could have been
right.
losing 3 or 4 instead of sweeping the Rangers. So things were working well, but you just have to keep it going.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point. I mean, it took 2 really good comebacks to split the series. Now that's not taking anything away from what the A's did,
Exactly.
but
in reality, I mean, look at what the Rangers have done in the 2 games against the Astros. If they had done that against the A's, it could have been a different story. Unfortunately, they did not. And to me, the most critical game was the final game on Thursday because the A's had leads with Trevor Cahill, but the Rangers kept coming back. And they held on to win that, but the bullpen was depleted. And fortunately, with Delkin last night, and you know, right now the bullpen is being saved because of pitchers other than the last back 3 or 4 guys.
And it's a walk. So the A's are going to get the tying run to the plate.
Again. Well, O gave up a 3-run home run in Toronto. Could he do it again tonight?
Sure.
Sure.
Absolutely.
He also had an inning and 2/3 in Toronto on the 19th where he pitched very well. But I think we have to look at the 17th when he didn't. Matt Olson was the one who hit the 3-run home run.
So Lowry steps up, a couple of strikeouts and a walk. Inside.
Well, this is what Matt Olson did. A's won the game, scored 10 runs against the Blue Jays. Off-speed pitch, Matt Olson, a 3-run shot, kept going. Granderson, no chance to get it, and a 3-run home run. How sweet that would be tonight.
Hit hard, but foul past Al Pedrique. Followed around.
Oh, well, kick it with your foot now.
Had a guy in college, he would say, follow it around, see what it eats.
That wasn't you, was it?
Maybe. Follow it around, see what it eats.
That Cap, I'd like to see one of those gaps the A's have seen against them tonight. It'd be nice to see the A's do one of those. Lowry, a big RBI double last night, the only run the A's scored thanks to his double, but the A's couldn't do anything after his double. Back-to-back doubles, Semien and Lowry.
Shallow right center, Blackman hustling in. Blackman goes into a slide and he caught it.
Hung up a little bit too long. Blackman can play some center field. You talked about his speed earlier. Shows it off here. You see him on the screen. Went back initially, but came running in quickly into a slide and made the play. But big outfield, and he initially broke on the swing by Jed Lowry. Looks like that commercial with the soccer players where the guy keeps sliding.
Just keep sliding, that's right. Just keep sliding around, celebrating. All right, here's Chris Davis. First pitch, swing and a miss. Ball working its way away from Chris Davis.
Yeah, slide. You know, it's amazing. He goes to slide, and maybe he likes to slide on the backside as he picks up the ball. Just keeps going and going.
Popped up. The struggles continue for the Athletics. They get a couple of opportunities with a runner in scoring position, but can't get it done. 7th inning stretch from Coors Field, 4-1 Rockies.
can participate in the 50-50 raffle presented by Sutter Health. Tickets are sold from gates opening through the last out of the 6th inning from raffle sellers or at the kiosk in section 217. The winner will be announced in game and will receive 50% of the jackpot, with the remainder benefiting the A's Community Fund. Something that's pretty common around baseball right now. It's a good opportunity for fans to take advantage of the raffle, and also benefiting, in this case, the A's Community Fund.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and brake experts. Yusmeiro Petit comes on for his 49th appearance. And he's going to face a pinch hitter. It's Garrett Hampson. Hampson was the starting second baseman last night. He's pitch hitting for the pitcher. Simeon has it. Quick throw to first, and they just get Hampson. One pitch, one out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
That time, Matt Chapman did not cut in front of Simeon.
Listen to this, folks. That's Charlie Blackmon's walk-up song, and the fans love it. He's been doing that for quite a while now, and they're ready for it.
That's great.
That's good stuff.
Nice of our producer Delaire to know all that stuff. Huh? I mean, that's pretty special, man. Delaire's got it all down.
The name of the band is The Outfield, Ray.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What better way?
You know what their name of that album was? Play Deep. Pretty good, huh?
Play Deep and Cut Across?
The Outfield, Play Deep.
Except at Coors Field.
Very popular album in the 80s.
Great.
The Outfield, Play Deep.
That's good.
They claim they didn't know anything about baseball, but I'm not buying that.
Yeah. Charlie Blackmon does, though.
Blackmon 0 for 3 tonight.
3 balls hit to the shortstop, Marcus Semien. Brett Anderson was the pitcher delivering those.
Hits that one foul. It is a sellout tonight here at Coors Field. 47,809. They are packed in tonight, folks. 47809. You may not be able to get a whole lot more in here on a beautiful Saturday night in Denver. That's the rooftop way out in deep right center field. That's the party scene out there. And that one is lined on the left field line, fair ball. Chris Davis backhands it near the line, and Blackmon's got a double. He can hit.
Three guys on the right side, fastball outside, so Charlie Blackmon with 2 strikes said, I'll take it that way. Matt Chapman, look where he's playing the shortstop near second, 3 to the right side, down the right field line, or left field line, and an easy double for Charlie Blackmon. And that's pretty good hitting, especially with 2 strikes, and another 2-strike hit for a Rockies player.
So Blackmon at second with a 1 out. Here's Ian Desmond. Well, the Rockies in the offseason, Ray, they ponied up and they paid Charlie Blackmon, and I think it was the right thing to do. He was going to be a free agent, but they signed him to a 4-year, $77 million deal.
Could probably get by on that.
He's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So that deal just starting, runs through 2021. So well deserved for Charlie Blackmon.
Well, you think what they gave to Wade Davis, you mentioned last night with the bullpen,
Yeah.
so they do that. I mean, they're making the commitment, and when you draw 48,000 or 47, close to 48,000, and have a weekend series, it's going to exceed 120,000 for the 3 games. I'm sure that's going to generate some revenue.
Well, you know what you have too, Ray, and there are places that have this situation, but this is not just a Denver team, it's a regional team.
Exactly.
There is not another baseball team anywhere
right.
near Denver. So they're getting fans from other states.
That's a great point. And you think of the teams, and we were just in Arlington, Texas, kind of the same thing. And
Yep.
you know, they have 80 radio stations. And talking to Chuck Morgan about the area that they cover, the various states, as he mentions all of them in his pregame, introducing everybody. But that is amazing.
You think about, I mean, Wyoming, Nebraska.
Yeah.
I mean, all these places, right? South Dakota.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason why those areas would not be Colorado Rockies fans.
You know, I remember one time the Royals had artificial surface because, and the Twins and the Metrodome, they drew from large areas, and they wanted to make sure when fans came there was going to be baseball, because they didn't want them to drive 2 or 3 hours to watch a game and have it rained out. Now with all the drainage, they didn't have to do it in Kansas City anymore. They could put the grass in, but for many years, George Toma, one of the greatest hit groundskeeper, and he had the turf. So Petit gets a big strikeout and then has another one to deal with, but Desmond strikes him out with a good fastball.
Arenado is going to be intentionally walked. No real big surprise there. The fans don't like it. So Arenado will walk to first, so it'll be 2 on, 2 out for Trevor Story.
Well, that's simply respect for an excellent hitter, and nothing against Story, but the bottom line, and of course the great Miguel Cabrera, who's on the disabled list, we talked about that often, how he said Victor Martinez was the best hitter because he backed him up and gave him a chance to hit a lot. Well, if Story does that enough, then teams will have to start pitching to Arenado instead of walking in this situation. Don't think they'll do it.
Story lines one into the glove of Marcus Semien. Side retired. Couple of runners stranded. A little bit of work to do for the A's. They trail 4-1 after 7.
Presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Hey, weekdays, Greg Papa, Ray Ratto, Kelly Johnson. They bring you the happy hour. Also available to listen live and as a podcast on NBCSportsBayArea.com. So, Star Wars night here in front of a sellout crowd at Coors Field. The Rockies leading the A's 4-1, top of the 8th inning. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. It's Adam Ottavino. We saw him last night in the 9th inning. He picked up the save. Had a fairly uneventful 9th inning through just 11 pitches. He is not the closer for the Rockies. That's Wade Davis. But Ottavino, very good setup man. And tonight he comes in the 8th inning. Olson, Piscotty, and Simeon for the A's. A's with 1 run on 6 hits. Their run came in the very first inning. They've stranded 9 through 7 innings.
That was a gift.
And Olson a walk, pop out to first, and a strikeout. And he got him swinging, kept it away on that one. So Olson strikes out for the second time.
MLB at Bat is your #1 athletics app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get A's home screen icons and features such as the MLB TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
With 1 out, Piscotty will hit. Piscotty popped it up and reached for it a little bit. It's Valleca, the second baseman, who grabs it 2 away. So here's Simeon. So just 4 pitches for Ottavino to get the first 2 outs here in the 8th inning.
Tell you what, after watching, and from the A's standpoint, playing as well as they did, getting the key hits and miraculous comebacks and hits, and could get a little frustrating when all of a sudden things change and you have to go through some of the down part of the ups and down. But that's what makes baseball so great, that you get a chance to come back after having success.
I think sometimes too, you come in a ballpark like this and everybody talks about, oh, it's Coors Field. Yep. It's a hitter's paradise. Usually, it's going to be a slugfest, which is not necessarily always the case. But then when you don't score, it's almost like it looks worse.
That's right.
But listen, the Rockies have a really decent pitching staff. It is a hitter's ballpark, but remember, everybody will tell you, not as much as it was 5 years ago. It has changed a little bit.
Well, we talked about Arlington, Texas, the ballpark.
A little bit different.
Yeah, because the jet stream no longer in right center. But, pitching's always going to stop good hitting, and the Rockies have proven that so far in this series, and the A's try to come back tonight. Ooh.
Well, that hit Simeon in the hand.
Also got the umpire in the hand, too. Dreckman got it in the hand, Marcus Simeon in the hand. So if you're a trainer, who do you go to? Davina with the pitch inside just kept running in, and Marcus Simeon got on the left hand. So the umpire with the ball coming off the hand and missing the catcher's mitt. The left arm for Dreckman went straight past Murphy, the catcher. Oh, you had to ask third base umpire, did it hit him? I guess Bud Black's going to find out if there was a swing or. So it would be the first base umpire, since it's a right-handed hitter.
That's what I was thinking too.
Was it a swing? And no. I wonder if it hit the bat. I guess that's what they're looking at, Kai, because the swing definitely wasn't there, but wondering if it hit the bat instead of hit the hand. So 8th inning for Bud Black, not a bad time to challenge.
Well, that's a tough one to see even on a replay.
Exactly.
It could hit a little bit of the hand. I guess if here's a good look.
Yep. Same thing had happened before in Cleveland last year, before a grand slam was hit by Lindor against the Yankees.
What happens a lot of times, Ray, when it hits the end of the bat like that, it also does hit his hand.
That's true. Yeah, because well, there's sometimes guys will wrap their finger around the end of the bat.
Then it's yeah.
Then it really hurts.
Careful. See, it does look like it hits the end of the bat, but it got some of his hand too. See how the ball obviously shoots downward. That's tough. That's a tough review. Ottavino, not really. He has not thrown any warm-up pitches. He's standing facing center field right now.
Remember earlier, Bob Melvin says, "What's taking you so long?" Well, maybe Bud Black's saying the same thing, but it's taking a long time in New York. They typically have 2 minutes, 30 seconds for the manager slash video coordinator here. Foul ball.
Wow. So Marcus is going to have to go back. So it is a foul ball. And I think for a manager, you'd like to argue, but there's nobody to argue with.
Nothing.
Because the umpires here called it in your favor if you're Bob Melvin.
Well, also, if you argue a decision made on a challenge, it's an automatic ejection. Yep. Bob Melvin shaking his head, as he would love to have had the base runner.
So the count 1-2 after the foul ball. Strike 3 call. And that's it. Tough at bat if you're Marcus Semien. And a good inning for Adam Ottavino. A couple of strikeouts. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Four 9-0 for the Rockies, and it is the bottom of the 8th inning. Brett Anderson went 6, gave up the 4 runs. Senzatella was a little shaky early, and the A's got 1 off him early, but they could not do any more damage, and he ended up pitching into the 6th inning. Another home run for Nolan Arenado. He leads the National League with 27 home runs. Carlos Gonzalez has had a big series. And the runners in scoring position has been an issue in this series for the A's. 2 for 19 now. So the new pitcher for the A's is Chris Hatcher after Yusmeiro Petit goes an inning. So Hatcher will face Carlos Gonzalez, Tom Murphy, and Noel Cuevas. Excuse me, Ray.
No, he'd prefer to use the pitchers to mix and match. I mean, last night he said it was going to be tough to use anybody. I don't know if Familia might have been available if it was a save situation, but that did not happen. And the same tonight. But Wendelken and Pagan last night, Petit, Hatcher trying to do it tonight after Anderson went 6.
Left center field again. Carlos Gonzalez is going to try for second. Martini's throw is late. It's another double for Carlos Gonzalez. 3 tonight, 4 doubles in the series.
0-2 in the first pitch, second at bat, and second pitch here, the 3 doubles. But great hitting, and you can say what you want about home runs being down, but that's just outstanding hitting by Carlos Gonzalez. And he was thinking 2 out of the batter's box, which you have to do. Still very good speed.
First pitch to Murphy. Out of the strike zone for a ball. Murphy knocked in a run in the second inning with his triple. 10 hits now for Colorado. Rockies had 10 hits in last night's game. They had 3 doubles last night. And 5 tonight. Two 2-0 to Murphy.
Maybe the A's need the hot weather.
Yeah, it's too cold here.
Yeah.
Martini coming in. And drifting a little bit toward right center, and he's got it.
Well, Monday, July the 30th, when the A's return home, it's another Rapid Deal Day. Grab a $15 lower level ticket presented by Bartable. Grab a lower level seat versus the Blue Jays for $15 by going to athletics.com/rapid. Offer subject to availability and can change at any time. Be sure to sign up for Athletics Alerts to know about the next offer. Visit athletics.com/rapid today. You got Kevin Durant.
Yeah, Kevin Durant's in the house.
KD's there, talking to an A's guy. And
Kelly Green jersey.
yeah, 50th anniversary logo there.
We get a pinch hitter for the Rockies. It's going to be Gerardo Parra. He's going to hit for Cuevas, left-handed hitter Parra, and he'll obviously stay in the game. Parra, very good defensive player.
See, that's what you're seeing more. See the numbers for pinch hitting, and A's try to do it. It's a little bit different in the American League, where you're pinch hitting kind of in a platoon situation, whereas in the National League it's pinch hitting. This is a lefty for a righty, but a lot of times in the National League it's pinch hitting for the pitcher. But still, you think pinch hitters are better in the National League as Wade Davis starts to get loose. But remember, Matt Joyce talked about how much pinch hitting in Pittsburgh helped him become a better hitter.
Parra pinch hit last night. He was retired. And now 2-0, 95 miles an hour from Hatcher. Missed again, a little bit low. Valaika is the on-deck hitter, and then after that, the pitcher spot. And now they're gonna put Parra on. So that's 3 walks by the A's pitchers tonight.
2 of them intentional. Team walked Arenado intentionally, and there's 3 balls. Looked like they're probably pitching around him to get to the right-hander, but Valaika's had a pretty good night himself with an RBI single and a solo home run.
Valaika's had a big ball game. Single homer, fly ball to right. Couple of RBIs. This one's going to be caught by Olson. Infield fly rule call. So 2 away. Now we're going to get another pinch hitter. It's going to be Iannetta. This is the pitcher spot. So Iannetta will hit 2 on, 2 out. In the 9th inning, the A's will have Fegley, and then the pitcher spot, and then the top of the order, Nick Martini against Wade Davis, the Rockies closer.
Okay, if here's your point, what you said about the Rockies carrying 3 catchers.
Yeah.
You get 1 in the game, you can pinch hit 1 here, still have 1 left. In the American League, you're taking a chance that if you pinch hit a catcher, and then something happens, then you're left without a catcher.
Yeah, this is a perfect example of where it can help you.
Yeah.
That's Murphy. And what also helps, Ray, is Tony Walters, the other catcher, and we saw him last night. He can play other positions a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's not, that makes it even more advantageous for Bud Black. Iannetta 3 for 6 as a pinch hitter. So 2-0 the count. Really cannot fall behind by anything more. 4-1. You're still in the game in this ballpark. And now it's 3-0. Charlie Blackmon is on deck. So Hatcher kicks and deals the 3-0 pitch, and he missed outside, and now they're loaded for Blackmon. So Blackmon, who's 1 for 4 tonight with a double. He's 3 for 8 in the series. All 3 hits are doubles. So the sellout crowd is looking for the knockout blow here.
Yeah. They just want to hear the song again. Defensive alignment much different than what it was the last time Blackmon is up, although he was up with 1 out. He ended up hitting a double left field. Now with the bases loaded.
And he goes after the first pitch and skies at the shallow center. Martini in. And the Rockies leave them loaded. Last shot for the A's. They need 3 to tie it up, trailing 4-1.
Once again, he goes opposite field tonight after hitting a ball to left center last night. Nolan Arenado. No, not again. No. Arenado, the solo home run last night and tonight. He's not really had many defensive plays. He had one that he did not throw. But so far, the Rockies, as they did last night, they were leading and won by a score of 3-1. The A's just the 2 runs tonight. They're leading 4-1. And it is their closer who did not pitch last night. 28 for 32 saves for the hard-throwing right-hander who went from the Tampa Bay Rays to Kansas City. But Chicago Cubs.
1 year in Chicago, yeah.
And then whenever Holland did not re-sign, they went out and got Wade Davis, and he is the closer now. He's done a very good job for the Rockies.
First pitch to Fegley. He is right there for a strike.
Remember when James Shields and Wade Davis were traded from Tampa Bay to Kansas City, and James Shields said, "Don't forget about Wade Davis." Yeah. Well, I think more people are talking about Wade Davis now than perhaps James Shields, because Shields has struggled. San Diego, White Sox. But Wade Davis, the closer in Kansas City, went on to Chicago, now with the Rockies, and got a 3-run lead. Was the optimum for a closer to come in with that lead.
Got a World Series ring with the Kansas City Royals in 2015. That was really the year he started closing.
Yeah.
Before that,
and that was
2014. He was coming out of the bullpen. He was kind of the setup.
But Holland was the closer in Kansas City.
That's right. That's right.
And went on, and Davis took over, and he's done a great job.
Outside last year with the Cubs, 32 saves. Free agent. Cubs decided not to bring him back, and he got a 3-year, $52 million deal with the Rockies. He said, "I'll take it."
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Fegley down the line, but foul.
I think I heard that Holland was offered something like 48, 49.
Should have took it.
Yeah, in hindsight, yeah. As we talked last night, 40 million and out of at least DFA'd. But listen, those who, Lorenzo Cain, some of them signed early, got some nice contracts, but really dried up. We'll see what happens this winter.
Fegley tried to hold up, and he did.
Fegley, very strong upper body, and that is a swing that was not a swing. And we had one early with Marcus Semien, very similar, that was called a strike.
So 2-2. Fegley steps back in. Canna will be next. Again down the left field line. This one is going to be just foul.
Good night for Fegley with a couple of hits and a strikeout. This one pulled just a little foul onto the warning track, so a little bit more than it looked like initially. Well, the A's need base runners, and Fegley doing a good job. 8th pitch coming up in this at bat. Just trying to get on base, trying to turn the batting order over to the top.
So 8th pitch of the at bat coming up to Fegley. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
I went with a fastball, and Davis has a good one at 94, painted. And one of those pitches that you could say it's a strike, swing or take.
Looks like there's just a little cutting action to it late. So here's Canna. It's a final in Anaheim. The Angels 11 and the Mariners 5. So the Angels have won the first 2 games of that series. The Mariners have now lost 8 out of their last 11. So a double opportunity for the A's with the Astros and the Mariners losing, but the A's are down to their final 2 outs here against the Rockies. There's a strike, 1-1.
You look at last night's game. Of course, the Mariners for a long time were winning every 1-run game. Last night they lost a 1-run game. They had gotten it back to tied, had a double steal attempt. Dee Gordon called safe, then overturned, and Calhoun hit the walk-off. Tonight, a little bit different story.
Popped up, middle of the diamond. It's going to be Desmond coming in onto the grass, and he's got it for the second out. So it's up to Martini to try to keep this ball game going. Martini with a couple of hits tonight, 2 for 4. And he scored the A's only run. Goes after the first pitch, and it's hit high and foul. We'll be back tomorrow for the final game of the series and the final game of the road trip. Frankie Montas against Ron Marcus. Got 8 wins. Montas got 5 wins. And it's low. And then the A's will head home. And we're going to be home a lot. Yeah. 8-game homestand. And a quick trip to Anaheim, and then back home again for another long homestand. And now the count 1-2. So I'd get out and get some tickets. I don't know. That's just
right.
Me, right?
I would too. That would be a good idea.
One-two pitch. Here it is. Grounded to second. Maleka has it. And that's the ball game. So the Colorado Rockies have won the first 2 games of this series, and what they have done is they have shut down a very, very good A's offense, an offense that was rolling coming into this series, but can't get it going, and the Rockies win it again tonight. 2 hours and 57 minutes was your time of game, and it was played in front of a sellout crowd of 47,809. Final score from Coors Field in Denver: the Rockies beat the Athletics 4-1. We'll go to A's Post Game Live right after the break, so stick around.